Okay, hi guys. All right, so take two. I think we've got it this time. Jeanette and I did a little test, and everything is all good. So we'll just wait for her to jump on. I'm super excited for today. Jeanette is a real inspiration. So I met her a couple of months ago, and we were talking and exchanging. Just exchanging a bit of a conversation about what she does and great for health coaches for you guys. So we'll just wait for her to jump on.
Hi,
And here she is. Welcome, Jeanette. How are you?
thank you for very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. And I'm really pleased and excited to have you here today as well. I know everybody else is too. I put out a little poll the other day and everybody was super excited. So I'm really glad to have you here, which is cool.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
no problems. So, all right, I have a bit of a croaky voice. I don't know how this is going to go and whether it's going to deteriorate, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. Um, Let me do a little bit of a quick intro for everybody. So I think most of you know me, but just in case, my name's Chloe McCready. I'm the health coach's coach, essentially, or business mentor. And we've got Jeanette here today, who is a certified cancer coach, holistic health coach, NLP practitioner, and a master life and disease coach, which is an incredible list of stuff. So I can't wait to hear heaps more about that, which is cool. Okay, so Jeanette, I think we might just get started with, I know that there'll be a couple of people that are going to be jumping on here and there as we go.
Okay.
Um, if anybody has any questions, of course, drop them in the comments. And even afterwards, if you're watching the replay, drop them in the comments and I can have a chat with Jeanette about getting those answered for you as well. Um, Okay, so Jeanette, I think we'll get started with how did you get into coaching?
Well, at first I didn't even know that this was like a real title. Like I didn't even know what this was. I didn't even know what I was. But I guess in essence, I've always been a coach. I've always been the person really cheering on, inspiring hope and change in others in the world and any part of the world or in life that looks dark. And when I figured out what a coach was, I was like, I need to do that. I want to do that. But I want to do it for disease and cancer patients. And that's kind of how I got started as a coach. But just like all of us, we became a coach because we have a personal passion because of a pain that we've suffered through our lives. So I always say through pain comes our passion, and that's exactly what happened to me. Um, Unfortunately, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, and myself were all in some way or another hospitalized within 2 weeks of each other, diagnosed, surgeries, or just some kind of hospitalization. And it was definitely because of the environment that we lived in. It was very toxic. Back in those days, what I feel a lifetime ago, I was in the construction business. And we were around a lot of toxins and carcinogens that I no longer wish to know about. But unfortunately, we have to know about these things for prevention. And I became a caregiver overnight. What I feel like, my identity was stripped from me. Um, the title that I had in my construction business was stripped of me. I didn't know who I was anymore, and I didn't know how to heal myself because everything that I had known up until then was, I ate the standard American diet. I ate that plate based on, they said, like this much veggies, this much protein, this much carbs. And I was like, how could we have a problem if we've been eating the way
Mm.
the standard American diet is? And I'm sure where you are, they have a variation of that same kind of plate. Yeah, and
Yeah, they've got like the food pyramid and things like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. And so it was really confusing for us. Like, how could we all be sick if we were eating this regular diet, this encouraged diet? Realizing that it was our environment and at the same time our mental state that contributed to the manifestation of different conditions and diseases in our family. And I was desperate to get help for my family members in and out of surgeries to heal them. And I just like everybody else, I went to Google trying to figure out what can I do within my four walls to change that. And I pretty much threw everything out except for the roof of our house in order to create a healing oasis. And because of my background in construction, I had the luxury of being able to do that. Um, and so my house was pretty much the last project that we did.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's a lot, right? That's a big why, and it's a really big inspiration. Like when your family, when a lot, like a number of members in your family get sick. And I
Right.
remember you telling me that story, and it really like hit close to my heart too.
Hmm.
I'd want to be doing everything, like tearing down the walls and everything
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make things better. And
Right.
yeah, that's incredibly inspirational. So, okay, so where did you start with your coaching? Like what courses did you do? What was the first cab off the rank with that?
Well, first I had to find somebody that kind of did what I was looking to do. And so I got a lot of consultation with different types of coaches, and I asked them, what was your background? What was your schooling? I really like your style. In order for me to like basically replicate that, I would have to go through their educational line. And that's what I did. I found quite a few people that gave me consultations where I became their client and figuring out how they did their education. And then I kind of mimicked what the majority of them had. Um, One of my mentors in particularly, I went to her school, and she kind of told me, you got to do that, you got to do that, you got to do this, so that we could have everything legal. And so that's what
Beautiful.
I did. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so um, whereabouts have you studied, by the way?
Yeah, so the Center of Advancement in Cancer Education and in the Health Coast Institute for, I did the mastery program.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think there's a
Those,
number of people here thinking about doing that.
yeah.
I know many. How did you find it?
Um, I think it just popped up on the side, just like everybody else. Their Google ad pages is pretty fantastic. It just pops up everywhere.
Yeah, and was it a course that you'd recommend for other coaches, for health coaches that have maybe gone through to become a health coach?
Yeah, totally. If you're looking to do health coaching, VHC is great. If you're looking to do a more deeper emotional aspect, mastery would be fantastic. I also piggybacked with my NLP practitioner training. Um, in addition to, I do have a couple of other ones like healing sound work that I do as well.
Beautiful. Okay, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And explain a little bit about, of course, I noticed a couple of people jumping on. Please do drop any questions that you have in the comments below. And once I've run through my questions, I'll definitely bring those up as well. Okay, so explain for us your niche. Like how are you working with your clients? What is it you do? What's a success story for you? Because obviously you're working in a pretty intense area, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you want to know how did I get to my niche?
No, just tell us about it.
Yeah.
Um,
So
what you do.
I primarily work with cancer patients or those that have chronic diseases. When I take on a patient, I do know that I'm also taking on their caregiver. So I'm actually doing two. So I'm taking the patient on and their caregiver, supporting both of them, really instilling the hope and that there is a roadmap that can be drawn out and everything is quantified. There's no guesswork. So that's one aspect of it. It did take me a while to figure that out. I tell everybody that I did not know that I was going to be a straight cancer coach at all. I was like, I'm going to do health and I'm going to do life to prevent cancer, to prevent, because it is a preventable disease. And I ended up figuring out that I just couldn't help but research cancer. I couldn't help but draw these people to me. And so my niche just came very clear from that. And so, a
Mm,
success story that you want to know is, I guess, the first one of my very first ones that I absolutely love. Um, she was stage two, triple negative breast cancer. And I have permission to say the story, that's why I'm saying it.
mm,
And she just had absolutely no hope because she thought that her cancer journey was going to mimic her mother's cancer journey, which her mother unfortunately did pass after 3 rounds of chemotherapy. And so she had that fear that when she was getting to her third round of chemotherapy, she was going to pass. And she hired me right before her third one. So what I said is, okay, if you can afford 1 week of just taking it off so that we can focus on your mindset, we'll be able to truly have guided imagery, have an anchor that can really take you through it, and also get your family on board so that they can be the support that you're looking for, not the support they think you need, but the support that you're looking for. And by the time she finished her third round, she didn't even experience any of the symptoms that she had the first 2 rounds. It was just like she was just walking through it, and it was fantastic.
I love that. And I do love what you just said about the caregivers and how, how I guess teaching them how someone wants to be supported through something like that.
Right.
Um, Probably a question that comes up for a number of health coaches, with being in such I guess, a triggery or a highly emotional sort of space, which cancer and disease is. How do you how do you deal with the money conversation? Like that's a big one, right?
Right. And so, what I actually do in order for anybody to be invited to work with me, there is actually a 3 part intake. The first part is kind of like a pretty generic intake, kind of like a CTD, closing the deal kind of conversation. The second one is money. We'd have a money conversation because money is not going to be the root of their fear. Their fear should be the inevitable an end date. And we are actually going to remove the fear of money out of the mind. And so I actually do money coaching on the second call with me.
Mm.
And by the third one, based on how coachable they were and if they're able to source the finances, then they're invited into my program because they want it and they're willing to invest in themselves.
That's beautiful, and I love that. That's really taking time to build up a relationship too,
Right.
which I think is really
Right.
powerful.
And I tell them, even if you don't hire me, at least you'll get some consciousness around your money, how you're looking at money, how money looks at you, so that going forward, when you're going to be dealt with dozens of decisions that have a financial obligation, you're going to feel very solid in those decision making process.
I love that. Okay, and how are your clients finding you? Like, this is a big
It's
question as well.
Yeah. So I am in a lot of areas. So I have a coach meetup group in my area that are mostly HCI students and graduates, different levels, either BHC Mastery or the Lifer program. And we meet together once a month. And I really wanted to have that close knit of coaches that we can kind of rely on each other because, when a client says no to us, it kind of feels like failure, unfortunately. But when we were in school, if we got an F, we're kind of like, okay, I'll do better next time. And so having this anchor of support of these coaches really allows you to see it not as a failure, but as okay, we'll get it better next time. We'll do better next time. So these group of coaches do refer me quite a lot of clients just because there's not a lot of people who want to deal with, like you said, this very triggering emotional part of life. So that's one. Another one, I'm a part of an organization down here in Orange County. That's where I'm at, Southern California, Orange County. And it's a bunch of therapists, healers, and social workers that when they see a family in need of my specific tiny gap of the medical world, they do send them to me. I also work in a wellness center where there's 5 practitioners here, and when it's needed or suitable, they do refer them to me as well. That's kind of how people find me. Oh, and Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram, and I get a bunch of DMs there too.
Ah, cool. What's
Yeah,
your handle? We'll pop it in the pop it in. Is it just
yeah.
Jeanette, just your name?
No, no, no. It's
No?
Experience Cancer Health.
Experience Cancer Health. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, can someone that's watching this just pop that in for me? Because for some reason my computer's just, I don't know what it's done. Can someone pop that in for me? Jeanette, can you repeat that for me?
Experience Cancer Health.
Experience Cancer House. Can cancer health, sorry.
Yeah.
Tony or Brett, Leanne, can someone pop that in for me? That would be really awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So I have a lot of information, really great information. This month is actually Breast Health Awareness Month. So there's a lot about breast cancer in October, the pink ribbon everywhere. But I do wanted to focus the beginning of the month on breast health, how breasts need to be and feel and look healthy, and how to make sure that they're healthy so we don't even have to worry about the word cancer later on.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to be following you too. Oh, Tony, thank you. Leanne, thank you. I really appreciate it.
thank
Okay,
you.
so tell us a little bit about what you're most proud of with what you've accomplished in your business.
What I'm most proud of that there's a person like me available, because
Mm,
that's what I wanted when I was helping my family. All I wanted was for someone like Jeanette, like me, to just walk in and say, "Hey, there's not a lot of guesswork. This is what is tried and true. This is how people survive. And now let's see what parts of this journey would you like? What parts will we modify? And how is your practitioner helping you in getting to your goal, which is survivorship?"
mm, wow. Okay, that's really beautiful. How long do you work with your clients for normally? Is it a short amount of time, lengthy?
Yeah, so a really integrative working with me, which is weekly or bi-weekly, depending. The maximum that I allow that to happen is 9 months. After 9 months, they should have all the tools to be equipped to be able to do it on their own. So I do have an end date for my clients. Now, after that, if they want to check in with me once a month, I do have a maintenance program.
Beautiful. Okay. And what would you say would be your not yeah, your biggest lessons?
Mm,
That's a big question,
well,
I know.
it's because the biggest lessons are those things that we feared for the longest. And
Mm,
kind of my biggest one was just being out there. I was just like really scared, and when I finally did it, I felt so alive, and I was like, why was I so scared? And it's given me so much more in tenfold in the visibility that I've had, in the credibility, and just in the community. Just being like, they're like, oh, we know someone, you have cancer, go to Jeanette. Hmm.
beautiful. Okay. So for the coaches that are watching,
Hmm.
what they're in, I think majority of them are in early stages of their business, so maybe they're still in training, or they're taking on a couple of clients and they're just starting to find their feet, build their community.
Yeah.
What recommendations do you have for them? What should they focus on?
Well, there's three things that I feel are able to totally solidify a platform or a foundation to launch their business. And the first one is forgiveness. And it's truly about forgiving ourselves. Like I said, most of us come from some kind of pain that turned into passion. Forgive yourself for not being the answer when we needed it most.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's forgiving yourself for that. Forgiving yourself from maybe you just had a lesson and you learned a little golden nugget, yet when you heard a family friend or somebody at the grocery store, have a problem and you didn't say anything, forgive yourself for not saying anything. Because, it could have been prematurely shared, or it could have been somebody's not ready to hear these little pieces of golden nuggets yet. It's so forgive yourself for that as well. Um,
I
forgive
love
yourself.
that.
Yeah, forgive yourself for timing, and forgive yourself from stalling. Forgive yourself of the fear, because sometimes when we're in the darkness for so long and we see that little bit of white light, we get scared. We get scared of opportunities. We get scared of the possibilities because we've been in the dark for too long.
I think that it's really incredible because when you're getting started, it's it's not just about learning how to coach, right? There's so much to learn, like
Yeah.
so much to learn, and being able to recognize that you can't you can't bundle it all up and learn it within a really short amount of time and then be able to identify every single opportunity and do something with it. You really need to like live and breathe it, and there are going to
Right.
be those moments. So 100%,
Mm,
100% love that.
yeah.
What else?
Get a mentor. Some people call them mentors, some people call them coaches. It's two in the same, I always say. And so, in order for you to be a good coach, you need to be coached and you need to coach. So, don't let money be an issue. Just help people, help people, help people. You can even have it as a trade. Like, I will be your health coach or your life coach as a practicum client, but in exchange, I would like video testimonials, big money maker, a video testimonial, or I would like some kind of quantified results driven, showing the track record so that they don't fall off the wagon. Because, as you know, if people don't put money in the game, they're not really invested.
Yes, 100%,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Okay, I love that. All right. So I particularly like what you said about having practice clients and getting them to do video testimonials and
Mm-hmm.
tracking in that. I know there's a
Yeah.
number of people here taking practice clients at the moment, so that's really perfect. Okay. What are
Oh, let
your, I
me just
guess,
also share that your
yeah.
mentor has to be someone that you want to replicate their success. Someone that when you're doing work, you're saying, wow, how is she or how is he doing it better than I am? Because I need to replicate what they're doing. Don't try to break a mold. Understand that there are people that are doing it great and they've already practiced and probably failed 1,000 times and they're sharing with you what actually works. So getting some kind of mentor. Personally, my mentor did it for free because she just wanted to share her gift and her light. And which is my goal too, is to be able to do mentorship for one person for free next year. This year, I do only have one 6 month apprenticeship opportunity coming up, but that's something else. Mm-hmm.
Is that local or is that something that anybody could do
It
anywhere?
could be worldwide. It could be worldwide. It's just somebody
Okay,
who really has the drive and the passion to work in
cool.
the cancer world. Mm-hmm.
So if anybody is watching this, of course, maybe just send Jeanette a message and let her know. Um, okay, so that was going to be my question actually. Like, how did you decide what a good mentor was, or what do you look for in a mentor?
Right.
So,
Well,
is there anything else?
I have 4 different types of mentors in every modality that I have. So I have a mentor that focuses on nutrition and mostly nutrition and health. Another one that does life. One that's a very spiritual mentor because unfortunately, when you're working with end of life, spirituality is a big needle mover in helping with the transformation of their mindset. And the third one is somebody who is literally my grounding rock because it gets overwhelming and you need somebody just to ground you. So I have a few.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. So, all right, so four at once, four mentors.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with all of that?
I meet with them only once a month. And so
Okay.
it's the same time every week, just one every week.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. I had to check because that would be a lot. Okay, so for the health coaches here, guys, if you haven't popped any questions in, please do drop them in the comments now so that we can make sure that we get to ask Jeanette everything and anything. All right, so I do have another question for you. If there was one thing that new health coaches needed to focus on, what would you say it needed to be for building
Health
a
coach.
successful business?
Right. Lean into whatever you're in fear of doing.
I love that.
So this is how I was able to get past it. So I had a real fear of public speaking, in particularly speaking in front of a group of therapists. I was the guest speaker, and I was like, a lot of the time therapists think coaches are a cheaper version of therapy, because sometimes it does feel like that. And so that was my biggest fear. And I said, nobody can pay me enough money to do that and put myself up there to be maybe ridiculed or something. So I said, okay, how much money would somebody have to pay me to do it? And I said, probably $500,000. So I wrote it down. $500,000 equals one talk in front of therapists. So I said, okay. And that was a week that I didn't close any new clients. And I was like, okay, since I'm closing this week and this week is going to close with $0, what's one way for me to create success or revenue? I said, I guess I'm going to sign up to be a speaker. And I signed up and I put in red letters, I just made $500,000 because that's how amazing it was and such a big a leap in my business because it gave me the courage to be able to speak everywhere.
Ooh, I love that.
So that was my success. So write down everything you fear and how much money somebody would have to pay you to do it. And then circle that one with the most value and start there.
Okay, I'm definitely going to do that exercise after this. I think I really, really like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And there's always a couple on the list, right? Always.
There's always, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the public speaking, because I think that would be quite intriguing for a couple of people as well. I mean, how did you set yourself up to be able to get paid to speak or to put yourself in a position of doing that?
Honestly, when I put it down in my journal, it just comes to me. You have to be in the right heart space to do it and to be of service and to know that whatever message or whatever you need to say is needed in the world, the opportunities just walk to you. And so I was asked the next day after I had written that down.
I love that. Manifestation queen.
It happened. The thing is, it happens. It's about the energy you surround yourself with, success or money, and the equivalent that you see it in.
Yeah. Okay, that's so inspirational. I love that. Okay, so you mentioned when we were talking that you had a little bit of a gift around inspiration, creating inspiration around stories. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
You mean an inspiration page?
Yes, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay. Um, well, I created kind of like this template. Is that what you're talking about? The template?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I go to a lot of like seminars or motivational speaking places or classes or workshops, and I just get these like loads of inspiration. And then I say, oh my God, I don't want to forget this information. I want to share this with clients one day, but how can I possibly do it when half the time we don't even know what our clients' problems are or what type of inspiration they need? So I created these inspiration pages. And so at the top, I kind of write down um, the title of whatever I'm going to call it, and also I write down where my client would need to be and where I want them to be at the end of me sharing the story. And so these inspiration pages I kind of created, double checking like who needs this, why would they need it, make sure it's not your ego that's trying to just share a random story with a big name in it, and that it's truly something to be of service for the client.
That's
So
beautiful and incredibly helpful. Like I could see how, let's say you're doing a talk or you're doing a Facebook Live or you're in front of your clients, that could be incredibly like valuable as well. Like
mhm,
it,
yeah.
yeah, that sounds amazing. So, for anybody that is interested in getting hold of that, you'll need to, and like I said, my computer's just having a moment, so I might have to drop the link in afterwards, unless someone can do that for me. The link is experiencehealthbyjeanette.com.
Mm-hmm.
So if you visit Jeanette's website,
I'm gonna try to write it
experience,
down.
that would be amazing. Thank you. I don't know what's happening with my laptop. um, you guys can check the contact page, and if you sign up there, then Jeanette's going to send you through this document that she's created that's going to really help you with
Yeah,
collecting your stories and being able to inspire your clients. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. Appreciate it.
welcome.
Being able to inspire clients and your audience and all of that, which is really fantastic.
Yeah.
I might have to download that myself. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just have a quick check on some of the questions we might have. Leanne,
So
you asked. Oh, sorry, you go, Jeanette.
Just earlier when we were talking, I talked about forgiveness. I talked about a mentor, and I didn't get to the third one,
Oh, yeah, please share.
which is your money mindset, and just how I work with every client on the second session with me. Money and the way we view money and the way money views us is a direct reflection of the way that we see and view the rest of the world. So it's about asking yourself a couple of questions, and I have a few questions I can share with everybody if you guys want to have a better grasp on your
Amazing.
money.
Yeah,
So
please
ask.
do.
So I wrote them down just so I wouldn't forget them. Ask yourself, what is frugality keeping you from being or keeping you from doing?
Mm, I
Okay.
like that.
Is there a dream you've kept a secret? Maybe you've kept it a secret because it's just too big and you feel like you'll be bending at the britches if you were to fulfill this dream.
Mm.
What if your soul work is finding out your highest and truest self of self-worth?
Ooh, like that one. Yeah.
And then writing down what would be the scariest amount of money getting from a client. When you write these questions and you write these answers down, it's kind of like you're declaring to the world, the universe, I'm ready to get this.
That's
And,
beautiful.
and people just start walking into your life.
I love that. Okay, so what I might do you have those typed up? Can you drop them in? Otherwise, I'll come back to the video and I can drop those questions in for everybody.
Yeah, you can probably do that because it's on a paper that I wrote.
Cool. So I can come back and I can type those in. That's perfect.
Thank
All
you.
right. That was awesome to share. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's a little gold nugget that's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah,
Mindset piece is really like it's crucial. It's really
it's
crucial.
crucial.
Okay, so we have Leanne. It looks like your question's been answered. Jeanette has 4 mentors, so
Yeah.
definitely more than one. Um, Tony, I can't remember what the idea was. Oh, wait, I think it might have been around the apprenticeship, right? Yeah, that does sound like a really awesome idea.
Mhm.
And Tony is asking, can you tell me, please, about more about your money coaching? I'm finding it difficult to convert potential clients into actual clients. Everyone
Yeah.
wants my services, it seems, but no one wants to pay for it.
Yeah. So it's about getting the yes before the no. So if you send an email or before your intake or before your CTD, just be like, are you interested in getting a coach? Yes or no question. And if they say yes, just say, well, you said you wanted a coach before we did this. You get the yes before the no. You also become very personalized before even getting on the phone with them. So if you know a little bit of background in their intake, it's just sending them personalized information and golden nuggets before, and they just love, cherish, and respect you before even getting on the phone. And you're just invaluable to them. So, yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. Tony, does that answer your question? Cool. And it doesn't look like we have any other questions, which is awesome. So um, I'd just like to ask, is there anything else you'd like to leave with us, Jeanette? Like any
Mm,
parting words?
um, yeah, because I do work in a world of cancer, do not think that cancer is everywhere and that it's just like being struck by lightning. We have control. We can change. Get a health coach, get a life coach, find those areas in your life in which feel like a cancer, a dark place, something of avoidance, something that we're suppressing, and suppression turns into depression, and that's when the manifestation of disease comes out. So stay healthy. Stay healthy now. Get healthy now if you're not healthy. Get a support team, and I hope to never have to work with you.
Beautiful. I hope so too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want mentorship, that's totally something else. But
Yeah.
I hope to never have to work with you.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
All right.
Jeanette, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're
and
welcome. Thank
all
you for
the
having
gold
me.
nuggets. Oh, it's been awesome. Like I said, an
Yeah.
absolute pleasure. And I yeah, I like to be able to bring people like yourself who are so inspirational and so heart-centered and really making an impact to all these coaches here that are just looking to see what's possible for them. So yeah, it's awesome to have you here.
Yes, perfect. And if everybody can please follow me on Facebook, I am interviewing a load of experts in the world of breast health. And so that's really
Awesome.
good. And if you're a male, send it to the women that you love and care about because they need this information now.
Awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Jeanette. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.